Every day of the year in nations across the world, fans make the pilgrimage to stadiums with one thing in mind: supporting their teams. But for some, simply supporting is not enough. Some really do go the extra mile, showing the love they feel for their teams with a real assault on the senses, walls of noise, and visually stunning choreography. This is our tribute to those sets of supporters. This is Copenhagen's most incredible fan moments of 2017. We all saw what happened at the derby this season, but Senetian fans are already best known for their creative support. And when they met their biggest rivals, Olympique Lyon, they displayed a spectacular 4-part tifo and their team won by 2 goals. The first tifo was a reference to Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. It read, "Mirror, my beautiful mirror, who's the most hated club in the country?" And Lyon's colours appeared. The next read, "What club will always make France dream?" And then St Etienne's colours appeared in the mirror. To finish things off, they displayed a banner with a tombstone and the words Lyon merde or Lyon shit, accompanied by the slogan, "You love to hate us, but you will end up as food for the Greens." Bravo, St Etienne! Spartak fans have a real penchant for brilliant tifos, so as you'd expect, when the most storied club in Russia won their first league title in nearly 2 decades, the scenes didn't disappoint. Spartak Moscow made just the 4 tifos to celebrate their first silverware in 16 years. The first was multifaceted. On one end, you've got the Spartak logo, and on the other, the image of club legend and founder Nikolai Starostin, accompanied by the words, "He sees everything." The same tifo was used when the club were at their lowest ebb, so displaying it at their best and proudest moment in recent years was hugely significant. They also made a periodic table with the names of all their players replacing the elements. On the other side of it was their coach Massimo Carrera's face, superimposed onto the body of Dmitry Mendeleev, the Russian chemist who invented the periodic table. The tifo showed that by mixing the 11 elements of their players, Carrera produced AU, the periodic element for gold. After the game, fans rushed the pitch and players lifted the trophy amongst them. Now what's Russian for scenes? What business do Aris and Boca Juniors have playing against each other in the middle of the season? Yeah, bit of a weird one at first glance, right? But it's right up there in terms of the most interesting friendly fixtures in world football. Aris Super 3 put on a real spectacle, delivering a South American-style recibimiento for the ages. With Aris now lingering in the lower leagues, they persuaded Boca to come back again, although this time, the Argentine club sent their second team. Not that it mattered to Aris supporters, who matched the display from their first meeting, setting off over 1,000 flares and 40 smoke bombs. Copenhagen Section 12 were on our list for moments in 2016, but in last season's Europa League clash against Ajax, they truly outdid themselves. The Dutch capital is famous, amongst other things, for the legislation of cannabis. The Copenhagen Ultras prepared a tiled tifo depicting the skyline of the city and the phrase, "Welcome to." As smoke began rising, the word Smokenhagen was lifted from the front of the stands. Through this tifo, they celebrated their city, played on the stereotype of their rivals for the night, and gave new meaning to UEFA's Respect campaign. Standard Liège Ultras Inferno are one of the most illustrious and longest running Ultras groups in Belgium. They're a real institution with several supporter clubs, clubhouses, and almost weekly events occurring outside of football. This year, to mark 20 years of activities in the city, their supporters unveiled 3 tifos. They began by tagging a wall with the name of the supporters group. Then, they followed with 2 more pieces as a homage to the Ultras group and their connection to the club. Not only an impressive series of activities in and of themselves, they were also a fitting ode to the importance of a group of supporters able to turn the Cop Rouge into a work of art. You'd be hard-pressed to find a city that's more intrinsically tied to their club than Gelsenkirchen and Schalke 04. Perhaps it's no surprise then that in one of Germany's poorest cities, fans were willing to raise almost 120,000 euros for a choreography display to celebrate the greatest moment in their club's history. The Schalke fans kicked things off by filling the stadium with blue and white flags. Then, they brought out 7 different tifos depicting the matches they played in the run-up to their 1997 UEFA Cup win. As a Eurofighter banner was unfurled, a giant replica of the trophy was also lowered into the ground. Wunderbar Schalke. Ever gone into an exam thinking you'd breeze it, then sit down, look at the first question and realise you've got it completely wrong? That's pretty much how the authorities in London, and particularly at the Emirates, felt when 20,000 Cologne fans well and truly took over for their first European match in over 25 years. This was quite simply one of the best shows of support we've seen on British soil in a very long time. They started long before the match, marching through central London and bringing it to a standstill. Kickoff had to be delayed while the powers that be decided how to deal with the ticketless fans. Then you had the incredible sight of huge amounts of the supposed home end going up in celebration when Cologne took a spectacular lead with an early wonder goal. They may have gone on to lose the game, but for Cologne fans, it was about so much more than that, as they showed the world just how much they love their club in spectacular style. As we've been saying for a while, there are always interesting fixtures popping up around Algeria, but USM vs MC is by far the most impressive. The two clubs' grounds have modest capacities of just under 20,000, so derbies are played out of the July 5, 1962 stadium and watched by crowds of 60,000. In a nation where national sovereignty is so closely tied to football, Derby Day in the capital means everything. Last season was one of the best in recent memory though. MCA's display read, "There are not only 6 or 7 wonders of the world," and then suddenly the stand appeared in green and red with another banner reading, "There is only one Mouloudia of Algiers." USM responded with a banner reading, "Conservative US Mister," and a tiled tifo on top, spelling out, "Born in the Curva" and "The Radical." As always, the Algiers derby was a sight to behold. It's no secret that we are completely enamored with the PSS Sleman and the Brigata Curva Sud. This is a group of supporters who regularly bring in over 20,000 active fans to support a second division in Indonesia. And if that wasn't enough, they actually sponsor the club. This year, they prepared a particularly special tifo for their match against Persib Pekalongan. They began the game by tossing a barrage of toilet roll from the South Curva. Then, to begin the second half, they prepared a tiled tifo with the club's traditional colours, as well as raising a banner depicting their legendary captain, coach and ultras with the slogan, "Fight for pride, not for praise." The combination of noise, colour of the tifos and paper drifting across the pitch with the match in full swing all the while was really something to behold. And it's exactly why we can't get enough of this kind of madness, and can't wait to see what the Brigata Curva Sud bring to the table in 2018. Established on February 13th, 1927, América de Cali are one of Colombia's biggest clubs with over 13 league titles to their name. However, in 2011, they were relegated following a string of problems on the pitch and managerial issues. They only returned to the First Division in November 2016, just in time for their big anniversary. To start off the new season, America's Barra Brava, Barón Rojo Sur, organised a show for the ages. Ahead of their match with Junior Barranquilla, they filled the Estadio Olímpico Pascual Guerrero with 360 degrees of red smoke. A hell of a way to celebrate 90 years of tradition, the same season you make it back to the top leagues. This is just one of many recibimientos we could have picked this year in South America, but a 90th anniversary combined with a promotion celebration just couldn't miss the list. Galatasaray's Ultras Aslan are also world-renowned for their tifo making, and over the years, compared side by side with any other supporters group, they have to be in anyone's top 3 when it comes to the tifo displays. This season, ahead of the derby against Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans prepared this tifo, referencing Rocky Balboa. The banner read the words, "Stand up," but beyond the incredible nature of the display, the phrase ended up becoming somewhat controversial. Following the match, Turkish Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan accused the Ultras of supporting a terrorist movement on the grounds that the Turkish religious dissident Fethullah Gulen had uttered something similar in a speech the previous week. In the ensuing debates, many fans viewed this as a clear example of how Erdogan's regime increasingly infringes on civil rights. In a way, this tifo filled the ultimate purpose, motivating the team and engaging in a wider discussion on football and civil rights. So those were Copenhagen's best fan moments of 2017. Which was your favourite? Want to let us know about the ones we missed? Well then let us know in the comment section below.